Hi, I'm Alberto, this is Lisa, and this is Simon. And we're three young professionals, all friends, collaborating on My Ideal House competition.
I'm the person in the middle. Albert and I met back at university about 8 years ago. He was studying architecture and I was studying property economics. We lived next door to each other and have been really good friends ever since. And last year I was fortunate enough to meet Simon on a commercial project, and had a really great working relationship and thought it would be a great opportunity to work together on this project.
So yeah, we approached this design by thinking about the various the connections between the public domain, the people that live in the house, and the connections between the family unit.
And I think one of the conclusions that we sort of came up with after kind of looking at this current suburban condition, looking at what's happening out there, is that we sort of see the garden as becoming more and more undervalued by Australia, basically. The garden is really interesting because it's kind of it's quite cheap as a room, and yet it adds so much value to the house in terms of natural light, private amenity, open space, and just that human connection with nature that is so important for living.
Oh, there's so many things that I love about the house, but I love probably the den, which is, it's a multi-use space, but I guess when I look at a plan I imagine, well, what would I be doing in that? And I can really imagine myself sitting between the courtyard and the edible garden and sitting there reading a book, having a coffee, but still being able to see my partner in the other room and his kids in the future running around. It's quite a romantic thought. The house design is an opportunity to invite people in. You have a choice, whereas I think when we first started this journey and spent a lot of time out in the suburbs just assessing the context before we actually designed something that we were all, I guess, fell in love with, it was just so closed off. But it's just because the homes in themselves didn't invite the opportunity. So you can still have privacy.
I mean, we all have our own sort of aesthetic preferences, and if it were our own house in our own plot of land, we would design it very differently. But we needed to think about the house not just for a suburban family, but also for the community and for the street. And so when we were designing the house, we were thinking about what were the neighbours likely going to be like. And we needed to make sure that the house wasn't an alien thing that was just imposed on the street by designers. It's something that actually has a conversation with what is happening on the street.